Hello, I'm your host, Ricky Saillas from the Regional Communications Center. The COVID-19 pandemic has been a massive challenge for the city of El Paso. During the next few minutes on this special edition of Your City in 5, we're going to show you what the city is doing to tackle this pandemic and what you can do to help stop the spread of the virus. Let's get started. Recently, City Council voted to extend the local emergency declaration for another 30 days, as well as the emergency ordinance that provides protection for residents when it comes to evictions and cutting off utilities.
For the public, it's important to understand that we continue to extend the directives on the emergency declaration and the emergency ordinance because that's how we are able to continue to receive funding from the state and federal level for our community.
First issued in March, both directives are valid through early August. As for the actual virus, there's a massive outbreak across the nation. COVID-19 cases in Texas have surged. El Paso has not been spared. Cases have spiked dramatically within the last few weeks. Now, more than ever, it's important to use social distancing, wear a face covering, and frequently wash hands. Public Health Authority Dr. Hector Ocaranza says the city is at a critical point with the virus.
Actually, we haven't seen the virus slow down, and in the contrary, we have seen a sharp increase. I understand that many people want to go back to normal life and do their normal activities, but if we continue doing those normal activities by gathering, by staying in contact with many people, that was putting us at risk of developing the infection. And in particular, those that have chronic conditions and those that are considered to be vulnerable.
While the number of cases continue to rise, the city's death rate has remained steady. Health authorities note that more than 40% of people who have tested positive are those in their 20s and 30s. The greater concern is for people with underlying medical conditions, regardless of their age. Knowing that, experts say it's important for everyone to take care of their health.
We want people to understand that to increase the chances of recovering faster, you need to help your body by resting, having good eating habits, by exercising, and observing hygiene practices.
To help everyone stay fit, the city is developing a program called Live Active EP. It's aimed at addressing those underlying medical conditions that put everyone at higher risk, such as diabetes and hypertension. Health experts say everyone should take the COVID-19 virus serious, reminding people that it's not just about protecting yourself, it's about protecting others.
The fall and the winter is going to be especially worse than what we're seeing right now because we're going to be mixing COVID-19 with other respiratory viruses such as influenza. Influenza, we know that also can kill many people every year in the United States and here in our city. So we need to continue being careful, and the ways to prevent those respiratory viruses are going to be the same as the way that we're preventing COVID-19. Wearing your face covering, washing your hands often, and prevent the gatherings.
Many people who test positive for the virus show no symptoms or do not appear sick, but they can infect others, and that's why it's vital to wear face coverings and practice social distancing. To get back to normal, everyone will have to do their part to reduce the spread of COVID-19. People who think they have been exposed to the virus should get tested. The city continues to provide COVID-19 testing and has expanded it to nearly 30 sites across the community. About 2,500 tests are being administered a day. Testing hit a record high on July 2nd with 3,600 tests in one day. The Public Health Department leads the testing program. Using a community-wide approach, the program includes a diverse amount of partners and organizations from the public and private sector.
We have new partnerships and expanded partnerships across the community, and we continue to work with the partners who we have been working with, our independent school districts, with UTEP, just to name a few.
A combination of mobile, drive-through, and on-site facility testing is available. Unlike several cities across Texas and the country, COVID-19 testing in El Paso remains free of charge and available to anyone with or without symptoms.
A number of cities across the United States and even the state of Texas, including San Antonio, they're now limiting their testing. They're limiting the number of sites that will be available, and they're actually limiting their testing to people who are symptomatic. We're not going to do that at this point. We really want to make sure that we can continue to offer testing to everyone, whether they're symptomatic or asymptomatic.
Information on testing is available on epstrong.org. The city is tracking the local economic impact caused by COVID-19, in particular the effect on international bridges, the international airport, and Sun Metro transportation services. City experts compile weekly reports and data to monitor these areas. Cross-border travel restrictions have negatively affected bridge traffic since the pandemic started, but experts say crossings are slowly recovering. However, recent data shows a slight increase in commercial traffic as our neighbors to the south start to reopen. City experts say the peso-dollar exchange rate recently gained some ground after it dropped in March. This is important to note because the rate has an impact on people crossing and spending in El Paso. COVID-19 has also affected airline travel. Data shows that travel at the El Paso International Airport declined 92% in April compared to last year. However, there has been a slow upward trend in airport activity since May. As for mass transit, Sun Metro has seen a drop in daily ridership, but some good news. Recent data shows an increase in ridership since late May. The use of solid data and high-frequency information provides the city and the public a better understanding of the economic damages caused by the pandemic and how we can address those concerns. Even as COVID-19 cases rise, the city remains focused on providing relief to people hit hardest and the most vulnerable. Since March, the city has worked on providing necessary funds and assistance to people and organizations who need it most. Federal grants and CARES funding are being used for affordable housing, assistance with utilities, access to food, and creation of personal financial stability. The city received about $26 million through the CARES Act. That money has been allocated and given to various organizations that are distributing the money to help those in need. The city is also doing all it can to get the local economy back on track. The focus has been helping business owners, in particular small business owners, hit hardest by the pandemic. The city created an economic task force, implemented a small business loan and grant program, and has talked to various stakeholders for a needs assessment. The city is now getting ready to distribute more than $18 million to 11 different organizations, such as the Chamber of Commerce, the Downtown Management District, and others, who will then give the money to local businesses who need it.
We're going to finalize these agreements by the end of July, and we're going to get those dollars out throughout the city so that we can ensure that these businesses have the ability to either, use the money towards payroll, towards equipment, towards, going in and getting additional funds that are needed to pay, like rent, for example.
The CARES Act funding is intended for economic recovery. Meanwhile, the city is taking the lead in urging business owners to make a pledge for safety. The voluntary program encourages businesses to commit to follow safety protocols to prevent the spread of COVID-19 as the economy reopens. So far, dozens of businesses have made the pledge.
I just think that it reinforces, how strong our community is, how resilient we are, but how we really try to work together. And this Pledge to Safety program could not have happened if we wouldn't have all, come together between the city, the county, and a number of our other partner organizations that have stepped up and said, look, this is important. Our businesses are important. We all recognize that economic recovery and rebuilding will be important, but first and foremost is the health and safety of our community.
Pledges can be made online at epstrong.org. It's not all gloom and doom for the Sun City despite the pandemic. City leaders say strong economic progress is still happening in El Paso. The real estate market is doing well. Out-of-town companies are still looking at El Paso for expansion, and companies are hiring for high-end demand jobs. The coronavirus has made an impact on the city's workforce. A good portion of city employees are still working from home, some providing city services virtually, others are still on the job. The city is actively working on a plan to bring back all employees to the office. Social distancing signage, hand sanitizers, plastic dividers, training sessions, and issuing of face coverings are part of the plan. Many facilities reopening, like the El Paso Zoo, museums, and rec centers, have been put on hold, but the city is working to welcome people back in a safe and careful manner. Did you get all of that? We know it's a lot of information to digest in just a matter of minutes, and we just gave you a summary. Now, all of this information is presented to City Council every 2 weeks. You can find more detailed info on what we presented by visiting epstrong.org. For Jose Solis, who's behind the camera, I'm Ricky Saillas. We'll see you next time on Your City in 5.